I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Fuck.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Yeah, so we decided to get our summer shit in, because really we haven't seen that much shit during the summer, which is an odd statement. But, yeah, he saw Kidnap, and I saw the Emoji movie. Boy, these two were... Yeah, these two were stretches.
Fuck.
Okay, yeah, we made promises to see these because I had the idea to see these movies. He would like to see stuff consistently that actually enhances his mind. But I personally actually don't mind, like, taking time out. It's only a couple of hours, but depending on how bad the movie is, it can rob you of your time. Clearly, from your facial expressions, that's what Kidnap was for you. Mine was just a gigantic fucking ripoff of the Lego Movie meets Wreck-It Ralph. In so many similar ways.
Fuck. Oh, okay. I'm back.
Good.
All right. If the focus wants to come back as well, that'd be nice.
That's good.
Okay, we're back. Sorry about that.
But Jesus Christ. But I actually got out of my movie quicker than he did, and he'll get into his little spiel in a second, but from what I saw, like, the last 5 minutes, I actually ended up laughing at a moment which was supposed to be scary. But that's mainly just because of shitty directing and shitty editing. Something that didn't necessarily happen in my movie. Granted, there were unnecessary things, but Jesus Christ, I wanted to grab this movie, like, if it was a piece of paper, I'd crumple it up in my hand and then just wring it out until it just shredded into a million pieces. Although I'm debating on whether or not it's worse than Spark because of, like, budget-related stuff and the amount of people trying to get into it, but for those of you who are blessed enough not to see this, it's about a meh emoji played by TJ What the Fuck Are You Doing in This Movie Miller in the app of Textopolis, which all of the apps on this phone are based on the normal names that are given to them in real life. Anyway, so meh is an emoji who thinks he's different even though he has a predetermined purpose. And he fucks everything up at his work when he's supposed to be on call to do a meh emoji on this kid's phone named Alex, which we don't even spend that much time with him, which begs the question, why the hell can't this be in real life when it's actually more interesting to view real life instead of being on someone's phone, which is all that emojis do. They don't have personalities, they don't have feelings, they're just stickers. Okay. He fucks things up, he gets targeted for deletion, and everything after that is just him trying to find a safe ground or something while following two buddies, one of them played by one of them is the high five emoji, which I don't even know if I've ever used. And yes, I've used emojis, everyone has, but I don't use them to the fucking extent that this movie thinks that kids use them nowadays. And
when it says targeted for deletion, does that mean the kid is going to delete him off the phone?
No! The lead emoji, which is like the overly happy smile, she's called Smiler, and she literally just has this one expression throughout the entire thing, even though clearly all they're trying to do is contrast. She's mad and sad and happy all the time, but she's staying smiling. Isn't that funny? Ha! Fucking ha! He fucks up, and for some reason, she has power over everyone to target him for deletion because we're not told right away that there used to be a former, like, program head leader or whatever called the princess, which really is, yes, there is a princess emoji, but why the fuck would you ever need to use it when you can use words?
You know what should be in charge, honestly, is like a group of emojis that are like this kid's favorites, because you can do that on the messaging app.
They do mention the idea of favorites, but it's not like well, okay. For some reason, the favorites do have like a big circle, like government table that is at the helm of the like text cube. Oh yeah, they still use office lingo and say cubes for the emojis that have to. Okay, so here's how it works. Well, here's how this movie's logic apparently works. There's like a wall of cubes, like ice, and actually it looks a lot like Hollywood squares.
Okay.
Where everyone's just sitting in one square, and there's this scanner that like goes to an emoji whenever the kid who's using the phone is trying to use it, and then it literally does like a scan top to bottom, and then the emoji, it's like taking a picture for them. So yeah, they make it way more complicated than it has to be. And when he does fuck it up, it's all because he feels different, which means he expresses emotions that aren't like predetermined to his emoji, which is just meh. Which, how the hell can you fuck that up? You literally just have to not give a fuck, period, and completely just say, and meh, all I have to do is this monotone expression the whole time. Does this really seem that hard? Seriously, you can do this in your sleep. But there's one perfect casting choice along with that idea of just having one straight emotion. Have you ever heard of Stephen Wright?
Mm-hmm.
He's TJ Miller's dad.
Okay.
Which apparently emojis can procreate. It isn't shown throughout the rest of the movie. Like, so he has a mom and a dad, and the dad, yeah, Stephen Wright out of all people, he has the multiple emotions. He can cry. He can have the hearts in his eyes.
Hey, for all we fucking know, they're just like the babies that come off the assembly lines.
That's what it made. That's what it seemed like. And this is only in the first 15 minutes. Oh, and TJ Miller, thinking that he's hip with the kids, some of the dialogue in this is so cringy that it almost seems insulting. At one point, he directly says, how can you, or why would you want to actually type out stuff? Who has the time for that? Normal fucking people who actually want to specifically get points across with words. The pen is mightier than the sword, or in this case, the face. And apparently every single kid in this universe also is obsessed with their phones, which might be true about the current generation of high school kids, but at least they know how to talk to one another, and at least they have communication skills. It's not like we're fucking retarded and don't know how to actually use words.
Oh, movies like this are certainly trying.
Oh, God. So yeah, he fucks everything up. But what you were saying about the favorites, there is a favorites like section, but it's like a VIP lounge. And the High Five, which is voiced by James Corden, he's a late night show host.
Okay.
I think he took the spot of Craig Ferguson.
Okay.
Which, damn him. But then again, Craig Ferguson was just retiring, even though he's awesome. But yeah, they're kicked out. Well, he's kicked out of the favorites lounge, and his only purpose is just to get back into the higher, like, oh, I'm one of the favorites. And he's a bad source of puns in this movie, especially considering like he uses the fingers a lot. So all because and apparently the meh emoji, TJ Miller, his name is Gene, we're not told that right away. He just says what his purpose is, even though throughout the rest of the movie he's called Gene. And his parents have random names too. One of them, the dad's name is Mel, and the other one's Mary. Get it? Because the first letter is M. Ha ha ha. And oh yeah, where this rips off the Lego Movie is, you know how in the Lego Movie where they were able to leave the universe, and that the idea of that actually made sense because there was so much marketing with Lego that they had so many different types of Legos, like associated with movies, with themes, with different kinds of adventures. They're just jumping from app to app in this movie. Yeah, you can, just like the Lego Movie, you can just walk out of your dimension and into the wallpaper of the phone, which, how the hell can the kid not see it if he's apparently addicted to his phone as much as everyone else in the movie? And they jump from app to app. I can't remember what the first app they jump into is, but they ultimately try and find a hacker named Jailbreak who's in this piracy app, which I was telling you right as we were leaving the theater. It's a PG movie, but they directly say, oh yeah, this is the app where Alex, the owner of the phone, this is where Alex keeps all the stuff that he doesn't want his parents to see. What could be in there? They say that word for word. What could be in there? Without missing a beat, it's porn. It's all the porn in the world. Don't go in there because all you'll see will be boobs. Nope. PG movie. It's some weird like troll bar with God damn it, I can't even remember the band that was playing in the background.
Did you say Motley Crue?
I thought it was Motley Crue. I could be wrong. Just some 80s rock. And then, oh yeah, the special whatever they try and find. Dark hat, like weird colored hair. Remind you of Wild Style / Lucy much from the Lego Movie? And oh yeah, and also like Lord Business's micromanagers, there are just bots in the movie that Smiler sends out to like delete Gene because oh no, he fucked up once and that dooms the entire phone forever. From the piracy they jump to oh god, one more gigantic fuck you to how much this world does not make sense. They end up in Candy Crush and they have to they explain how Candy Crush works in order to try and sell all the products, sell. They play with, because Gene actually falls into the grid and they have to like swipe they have to play the game. Right after that, the hand starts eating candy everywhere throughout that game. That's a little weird considering there's food emojis in Textopolis. So are you saying that he could eat them too? How else are they? What other food do they eat in Textopolis? How do they survive? Do they need food? They're emojis. What other energy do they need? How the fuck did they procreate? Are there any other parents in that universe? Who gave birth to Smiler? There are so many questions that this movie doesn't want to answer because they just want to sell shit. This movie is one gigantic advertisement. And it also thinks that it's playing to the younger demographic because it's something that exists. You relate to it.
So what you're saying is it was relatively disappointing.
Just a little bit. Oh, and apparently
not nearly as good as what Jack's films made it out to be.
Oh god. But and people who actually have iPhones and invest way too much time in them, is Just Dance really an app?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Because the next step they take is to go to the Just Dance app. Oh, big smart decision for them, considering that the Jailbreak app doesn't dance, and it's the bonding moment between her and Meh. or Gene, whatever the fuck he's called, I don't care. Oh, and for some reason the Hand is good at dancing, even though he's a hand, not a foot. Oh, and Christina Aguilera voices the dance instructor who goes out on her own whim and says whatever she wants. There is so much about this movie that is wrong with it that I can talk about. Okay, there's one or two funny parts. Jeff Ross, who's a big-time insult comedian, and he's actually a long-time roaster on Comedy Central Roast. He voices a troll in it, and it's just fun to see someone in this movie actually act like an asshole to contradict all the cutesiness that's in it. And that's back at the bar, piracy app that they're at, because trolls, they're bad. Ugh. But yeah, there's absolutely nothing in this movie that is worth like noting. Oh, and
why do you think I didn't want to go see this movie?
You would have been pulling your fucking hair out after seeing this movie, and okay,
and there's nothing I could say that hasn't already been said a dozen times over by many other reviewers, or what I haven't already been saying for years about kids movies in general.
There are good kids movies.
There are plenty. There are plenty of good kids movies. I'm talking about the fodder like this.
This is absolute fodder. Oh, the irony! The Lego Ninjago movie trailer played again. Well, it plays before every movie now because Lego, they're the #1 toy brand. They need to have all their advertising.
It didn't play for mine. I got friend request.
What? There's a movie with that title.
It's a horror movie. A Facebook horror movie.
Unfriended Part 2.
No. No.
Oh God. Oh, and back to mine. This movie thinks that they know what Spotify is, when really this is all it is. It's a playlist. You swipe up and down. You can click on whatever music you want to listen to, which apparently is Nirvana. This movie tries to make it say, oh, it's music streaming. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to put digital river streams in the app because you're riding the waves of the sound and music. You fucking sappy idiots.
The last time I saw anything like that was in the 90s when they were doing the information superhighway in cartoon form.
Okay, I'll give it. Oh! You would have been screaming at the screen for this. You're not gonna watch it anyway, but fuck you. Spoilers. So yeah, Matt gets taken back to Textopolis by the bots that are searching for him, and Jailbreak, who is later revealed as a princess, the main one who controlled Textopolis but left for some reason. They're at the cloud, which again, iPhone, Apple, fuck you. She does a whistle, and the Twitter bird comes by. The Twitter bird, in actual form, comes in, and both her and the Hand jump on its back, and they fly it to Textopolis. Why couldn't she just whistle for it before it had her follow her, and they could have just ridden the bird to the cloud? They didn't have to walk anywhere. They could have just ridden on a bird and said, fuck it, we're living in Valhalla for the rest of our lives.
Also, Twitter and messages, iPhone messages, are not the same fucking thing.
What?
If they're going to Twitter and that takes them back to Textopolis...
It wasn't it. They weren't at Twitter. They weren't at the Twitter app. They were at the cloud. They passed through some firewall. Okay, they got to the Dropbox and they passed a firewall to the cloud, and they called the Twitter bird. Okay, how does that work? Does the Twitter bird just leave the icon in the app and then just fly off randomly off the phone? Oh yeah, and every time that they use apps without Alex knowing, his phone goes off. Like randomly throughout the day. He can't just turn the volume off or turn his entire phone off. Yeah, he just goes the extremist route and goes to like wipe it out completely and get a new phone. That's the whole like tension and like climax. Instead of just, okay, he brings it to the store to like, oh, I don't want this phone at all. And what saves it is one, okay, yeah, whatever. Gene is the all-in-one emoji. It's one scan of his face with all the faces. He sends it to this one girl, and apparently that's good enough for him to make it to the dance with this chick. Oh yeah, there's a dance apparently in this.
Because apparently only that phone has those emojis on it.
Exactly! Okay, talking about it now, this might be worse than Spark. Because at least Spark...
Right. Spark at least sounded like a movie still. This just really sounds like a garbled feature-length iPhone commercial.
It's an iPhone commercial mixed with Mad Libs. What's gonna happen next? Oh, they're gonna end up in Candy Crush. What's gonna happen next? Oh, they're gonna end up in a dancing thing. And apparently that one emoji was enough for him to save his entire phone from getting, like, destroyed or shut off. Again, there are so many other ways around it.
The kid must really be looking for any excuse to get a new phone.
Basically.
In which case, just hit it against the desk a few times and be like, oops, I guess the screen cracked. Guess I gotta get a new one.
Well, okay, he doesn't want to get a new one. The phone just randomly goes off. Oh, and at the at the most inconvenient times, and it just knows what to play right away. Because he's outside the school trying to talk to his buddy, and all of a sudden, bubble butt, bubble 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 butt, bubble butt. That's a song. Pops up on his Spotify, and everyone looks at him like, oh, you're weird.
Turn off your fucking phone.
Yes, just turn it off.
Or, I don't know, maybe try updating the OS?
They didn't even mention that.
Troubleshooting it? I don't know.
There's so many other ways around this.
This kid seems too stupid to have a phone.
Exactly. No, that's the message that they try and paint to every kid in this movie. Every kid in this movie is an idiot. Apparently, they can only communicate in emojis, and they're the end-all, be-all of existence. If you're not down with emojis and you don't know what emoji you're sending, you're a weird fucker, and you should be put in exile. Jesus Christ, this movie is making me sweat. Ugh. But yeah, this definitely made my expectations. This movie is fucking terrible.
Exactly what I thought it would have been, which is why I didn't even bother going and see it.
Again, the only good, if I can scrounge up a couple good things, it looks nice. The color scheme is nice. It's not as blatantly bright and overly sappy like Trolls is.
Weird, because I kind of heard the opposite.
Well,
I kind of heard, well, like, not necessarily that the animation was bad, but that the color schemes they picked was terrible.
Well, in what ways terrible? Did they describe?
They said it was just very bland and dreary.
I'd completely disagree with that, because the colors in this actually did pop, and you were able to like distinctly like match out what was what. And actually, okay, for all the shit that I gave the Spotify sequence, the digital river streams that they had in that actually did look kind of cool. But we live in the year 2017 where technology is prime. Every single 3D animated movie aside from Spark is gonna look nice. And why can't these be more than just eye candy? From this technology, we got the Toy Story movies. From this technology, we got the Kung Fu Panda movies. We got How to Train Your Dragon. What other, like, landmark amazing 3D, well, like 3D animated movies like, have made their massive impact on pop culture? But any of the Pixar movies, like Shrek, even the Shrek movies. The first Shrek wasn't even like that. Wasn't even prime 3D animation, but it was hilarious because of the script and the characters and the premise and the ideas behind it. And this is one of the biggest cash-ins I've ever seen. It's all just advertising. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, fucking, TJ Miller, sort your life out, get a better agent, or do some more stand-up.
He left Silicon Valley for this. He was genuinely excited to do a movie like this.
You fucking moron. Oh yeah, and Anna, as soon as I was seeing the, like, rolling credits, I was just curious to see who voiced everyone else. So yeah, TJ Miller, you're better than this. James Corden, luckily you have your night show. Anna Faris, this is desperation and trying to get money after leaving Chris Pratt. Maya Rudolph, stay married to Paul Thomas Anderson.
Patrick Stewart, I don't want to remember you like this, okay?
Hey, Patrick Stewart isn't in 5 minutes of this movie. He's only shown in snippets, and it's all for shit puns. Shit puns for a man who's Shakespearean trained.
Well,
luckily,
there we go.
And the only thing that this movie has done for me is clean my palate. And
clean your palate?
And make me start fresh for appreciating good movies.
Okay. Your mindset and mine is completely different. This isn't a palate cleanser for me. This is the equivalent of like throwing all my clothes around my room so I can clean it up.
So making the situation worse for yourself than it already is.
Yeah, so I have the satisfaction of making it better, I guess.
So, tell us about Female Taken.
Oh, God.
Have you seen Taken?
Yes, I have. So many times. Too many times, actually.
How much did this remind you of Taken?
Well, honestly, only in premise, really, because the vast majority of the movie is a fucking car chase. And not even a good one. And then the last 15 minutes is basically a really condensed version of Don't Breathe.
Dude, and we already know how much you appreciate that movie.
Yeah, by the way, you are sweating bullets. Let's open up these windows.
Fine.
And then I can talk about Kidnap.
My fucking keys fell.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on, just 1 sec, guys.
I got them right here.
Okay.
The joys of summer.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, Kidnap. The way I looked at this movie was basically a Lifetime Network movie that somehow got bumped into theaters. And the funny thing about this movie, the only thing we really knew about it, besides other general consensus reviews, was its ridiculously short runtime. But if you Google this movie's runtime, it will say 1 hour and 34 minutes. But Brad Jones from Midnight Screenings and Cinema Snob said that it was only 75 minutes. So either it's got like 20-minute credit sequence or something's not right. So I, just for the hell of it, I timed it. I had a stopwatch here and I timed it. By the time we got to the credits, on the dot, 75 minutes.
76 if you're trying to push it.
Yeah. And the credit sequence, I know it's not 20 minutes. I know there's nothing after it. So, okay, if you want to be generous, we'll say 80 minutes. It's an 80-minute movie with the credits.
That's
shorter. And this movie still, I felt every minute of this overly repetitive piece of shit fuck?
Yeah, that's the same length as Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3.
That's about the same length as Nightmare Before Christmas.
And that actually had ingenious ideas.
Right. So, and honestly, I took bets with myself over this. I wondered, was the kidnapping... Was this movie going to be dumber than the Split kidnapping, which I went on record to saying was the dumbest kidnapping I've ever seen? Well, alright, I'll say this much. The initial kidnapping sequence, where they actually take her kid, is not dumb. It's the whole opening itself isn't very good. It's so disgustingly sappy that it's just trying to get you to really, really love this mother and child just so they could pull them apart and get you to feel it's just overly emotionally manipulative without feeling natural in the slightest. That feels so forced, and that makes it
love them. Love these people. You need to feel sorry for their conjuring.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Okay, so so I will say, okay, Halle Berry as a mother isn't terrible, but holy fuck does she have a terrible script.
But she is an Oscar winner, so she knows how to act.
She does, but this is the majority of her dialogue in this movie. Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! Okay! 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 Oh God! Oh God! Oh God!
Oh God! Oh God!
Oh God! Oh God! Oh. Yeah. They say God in this movie more times than a goddamn Pureflix movie.
And the way he puts it, the dialogue is basically just porn talk. Oh God! Oh God!
Yeah. All right. So, all right. When the initial car chase happens, and you know, they're at a theme park, a pretty fucking lame theme park, because she doesn't even take him on any of the rides. She just lets him play in the playground area. I don't know why you need to go to a theme park for that, but whatever. All right, so
waste of $50.
Yeah. So she gets a phone call from her lawyer saying that the father's looking for custody of the child. This plays into absolutely nothing for the rest of the movie, so it might as well not even be there. If anything, it's just an excuse to pull her away from her child for, I'd say, 10, no. I'd say a minute and 30 seconds. That's all it is. And somehow they have convinced this kid to go with them to their car, which case they just pick him up and toss him in. Really, because at that point he realizes, oh wait, no, you're not mommy's friends or whatever. I will say the kid himself is not a terrible actor, but again, this movie is so stupid in so many ways.
Describe.
It kind of goes the route of the new Ghostbusters movie, in the sense that our main characters are not very good. In fact, they're kind of stupid, but they just happen to also be in an extremely incompetent world. And the kidnappers themselves are fucking idiots. They create their own problems at every turn. The initial car chase, her chasing them down and everything, they basically put the kid's head out the window with a knife to his throat and give the impression it's like, back off or we'll kill him. So she leaves and then has a breather, and then she talks to herself. Yes, there's a lot of talking to oneself in this movie. She's like, okay, all right, I know the car, I know the people, there has to be someone, we're gonna get through it's just, shut up. Go to the police! Why doesn't she go to the police? She loses her phone. That's why she can't call the police while she's driving. But I just think to myself, you immediately go to the police, report this, and it would probably go faster than you going up to these cars a second time just to make sure they were serious about back off or we'll kill your kid. Which is exactly what happens. This movie is so repetitive. It repeats things so much. I can't tell you how many times we get this sequence of she's chasing them down. They threaten to kill the kid, so she backs off, and then the same thing happens. She gets out of the car at least 5 times to yell, "Call 911! Call 911!" There is a way to make car chases, like movies that are just entirely one singular car chase, interesting and engaging and fun, and this is not one of them at all.
Fury Road is one gigantic chase.
Smokey and the Bandit is one gigantic chase.
What what else is one gigantic chase and is actually a good movie?
I don't know, but we know it can be done. And honestly, this mother is just, I get there's a lot of determination, there's a lot of emotion and irrationality to having your child kidnapped, but there comes a point where she is just being an idiot at this point, and if it weren't for the amazing stupidity of these kidnappers, she probably would have been fucked so many times. So eventually what ends up happening is she does go to the police when she ends up losing these guys, but then they crash their car. They find the car, the kidnapper and kid are long gone, so she chases them down, or at least tracks them down, goes to the police station, reports it, sees this whole wall of missing children posters. So this has happened multiple times, and you fucking incompetent police officers still can't find these people? This is what I mean when I say this movie takes place in such a stupid world. There is no way that this can go on for as long as it has, and this is apparently the first time these kidnappers have ever dealt with a situation like this.
So there's no common sense at
Absolutely
all.
None. It is one of the most incompetent action dramas I've ever seen. Just even when it comes down to, like, there's times when I understand that she can't just crash the car. Like, she's tailing this car, and you think yourself, why doesn't she just crash it or run it off the road? And I think to myself, wait, okay, this is highway speeds we're talking about. She could potentially kill her kid.
Yep.
But there's other times when they're on, like, back roads where they're not driving very far. You could easily like tail end them and knock them off the road, something. And at some point, I think she should have just rammed the car at whatever speed she wanted, because in this world, people survive car accidents all the time. People are completely immune to them. Halle Berry alone survives 4 car crashes in this fucking movie.
That's almost the same as Mickey Rourke in Iron Man 2 surviving getting hit by Happy's car 4 times. Just ram.
Yeah.
But she's roll. Am I right?
Not quite. I mean, there's a sequence where the kidnappers run over a woman. She miraculously survives, but there's also a car that's heading right their way, which I guess they must really hate this lady because they have ample opportunity to stop, but they don't. So Halle Berry instead stops chasing them for a second and turns, so they T-bone her enough to activate the airbag, which magically disappears in the next shot.
Continuity, what's that?
Yes, and then she just continues on her car chase.
Oh.
So, all right. There's no way you're walking away from that unscathed. And then when she tracks them down to this dusky road that apparently leads to a dead end. Again, I don't know why these fucking people haven't been found yet, but she leads them down there. Her car runs out of gas, so she stops another truck and says, hey, my son's been kidnapped, please help. They go down this way, and it's like, this way is just a dead end. Crashes the car head on. The kidnapper does. The kidnapper crashes the car head on.
Into a truck. A semi.
Not a semi. A truck.
A pickup truck?
A pickup truck. Essentially.
How big is the kidnapper's car?
Not very big.
But not bigger than the...
Not bigger than the truck.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
So it does that, kills the driver. Halle Berry's okay. She survives yet another car crash. The kidnapper is knocked out, so smart move there, dumb shit. She walks up to the kidnapper just to see if he's still dead. She walks away. He pulls out a shotgun and then starts shooting her. Again, she retreats back into her car and she locks it. Now keep in mind, this kidnapper has a loaded shotgun, so I don't know why you don't just go bang bang, but he's just like, open the door. When he does finally open the door, she grabs the shotgun and fires off both shells. His arm gets caught in between the doors and she slams on the gas and drives backwards into the woods and crashes the car again. Into a tree, and they stay on this shot of a crashed car for a long period of time. So at one point I just say, well, I guess she can't survive 4 car crashes. That'd be silly.
Jesus Christ, this is sounding like Grand Theft Barry, where all she has to do whenever she gets wasted is have an immediate rehab at the hospital, but the hospital is apparently in her pocket.
Yeah. So she walks out, and the kidnapper somehow dies. Somehow dies. He was only being dragged by his arm in the car. She survives, but he doesn't. I don't know how that works. But, alright, so
because the movie needs to continue. That's the only reason.
And like any poorly thought out piece of shit, it's just because. So she takes the shotgun and walks down the road and finds this old house similar, just like in Don't Breathe. It's an old creaky ass house, and the whole last 15 minutes plays out just like Don't Breathe.
The 15 minutes after the 60 minutes of car chases.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a very quiet, supposed to be an intense scene, but it only breaks it up with a bunch of jump scares. The person in the house, the lady, the big hillbilly lady, has a dog also, just like in Don't Breathe, and that's the biggest threat. So, okay, what ends up happening is she sneaks into the house. She doesn't know she's there. She goes into the shack where she's keeping the kids. She grabs the phone, calls 911, gets a hold of them, says they're okay. We're triangulating your location, everything. But then she hears like dialing, and she's like, oh no, hang up, and hang up the phone. And you think, oh shit, now she knows she's in the house. Nope, because she's an idiot. She's like, Terry, was that you on the phone?
Jesus.
Oh my God. Alright, so, and even when she finds the shotgun of his on the table, which wasn't previously there, and the phone gone, you think, oh no, someone's in my house. Terry, where are you? Fuck. This is what I mean when I say these kidnappers are so stupid. There is no way. No fucking way! They have gotten away with this like 10 plus times with 10 kids. Why are they kidnapping these kids, by the way? They're pawning them off for like $100,000.
Yeah, just human trafficking. Why would you sell children when you... Well, you're probably going to use them as workers. Why would you sell children when you can get much larger humans that are more physically capable?
I guess it's a niche market.
The only other argument you can say is, oh, they're easier to abduct. All you need is some chloroform and, like, know how to use a sleeper hold in order to take down, like, bigger teenagers, pretty much.
And you think she could find a much better place to kidnap them than as public as a fucking theme park. But whatever. Eventually she finds her kid in the shack, and she finds, other kids as well. Now these kids are fucking idiots because they have ample opportunity to escape, but they're like, no, I don't want to go. I want my mommy.
My movie ended before his did, and luckily I knew the theater that he was in, and I saw this part. As soon as she said that, you just stomped your foot.
You know what, you little shits? I'm just gonna leave you up here to die if you're gonna be that fucking stupid. I'm here to save you. I want my mommy. You know what? Fuck off. I'm taking my kid and leaving you. All right. So eventually, the woman realizes, hey, there's someone in my house. She takes the gun. She has a gun and everything. She gets the dog and everything. It goes after her, but Halle Berry's smart. She sets the boat out onto the lake, and her kid are underneath the dock. All right. Well, eventually the dog sniffs them out and sees that, oh, they're underneath the dock, and she's, lining up her shot and everything, and then Halle Berry pulls her into the water and strangles her in the water. And also, while doing that, when she falls in, miraculously shoots the dog as well. So 2 for 1. Everything's just going your way today, Halle Berry.
What a fucking coinky-dink.
Survived 4 car crashes. You got the dumbest kidnappers in the world. I bet you feel like a real hero. All right. Well, she dies. They go back in for the kids. There's one.
They're still saying, I want my mommy.
Yes, which, again, I'd say, all right, you know what? Fuck you. I'm just going to let the police deal with your stupid ass. But then...
Can I cover this part since I actually saw it?
All right, fine.
Some random guy comes in with another shotgun. Jesus, are they in Texas or something?
I don't know where the movie takes place, actually.
Guns a core. This one guy comes in, shotgun pointed at Halle Berry. Oh, where are the other 2? Whatever, I'm gonna shoot you. No. There are kidnapped kids here. Oh, okay. He looks up and he gives himself away that he is working with, like, the kidnappers or whatever. If he was working with them, why didn't he just kill Halle Berry right away and solve everyone's problems?
Which there are several moments in the movie just like that. Because there's one scene where the kidnapper their car is partially broken down, and they're at a standoff. The guy comes out with a knife and says, if you come any closer, I'm gonna kill your kid. And then the other lady comes out, knocks on the door and says, let me in. You take us to the money, or bank account essentially, we'll let your kid go. So, and she agrees for the time being, and then eventually she just says, screw it, and starts choking out Halle Berry. You could have killed her at the fucking stop. You didn't have to go driving for however long you did this before deciding to kill her. Ugh.
You see your problem, you take care of it.
Yeah. But also there is something funny about how it's revealed that this last guy is working with the kidnappers is when she says, come on, he's like, come on down, girls, and she grabs the shovel, like, I never told you they were girls. He
heard them.
He heard their voice. I don't see how that.
And okay.
It almost would have been a lot better of an ending if it turns out he was just a bystander and she killed him anyway.
And then she would just go to jail.
Yeah. But no, everything is just going her way today.
Everything is hunky-dory.
One other bit of noticeable really stupidity is after the scene where the lady in the car tries to kill Halle Berry while she's driving it. She eventually gets out, it drives up to the car, and she thinks, oh shit, how am I gonna keep going? Well, she puts on the shirt of the lady, the kidnapper lady, and then puts her arm out and gives the okay and everything, and then they keep driving. So the driver didn't notice that her hand is black. Halle Berry's black. The lady, your wife, is white. You didn't notice? There is so much stupid in this movie, and you know what? I'm okay with that. This is my ideal stupid movie. Without all the cringe comedy you get out of something like the Emoji movie, this is a movie that takes itself complete 100% serious and doesn't realize how stupid it is. And that is my idea of the kind of movie that I can just tear into.
But does this swing so far below a 0 that it goes back to being a 10?
No. It's boring. It's repetitive.
Boring?
They make a car chase very boring.
How the fuck can you... Oh, God.
They make a car chase very boring because you know exactly what's going to happen. She's going to drive up close to them, and they're going to poke the kid's head out, and she's going to be like, no, don't hurt him, and then she's going to back off. And then she's going to drive up again to see if they're super duper real serious about it, and then the same thing's going to happen. This is what I guess it's boring because it's repetitive. It repeats so many ideas. It doesn't have ups and downs. It doesn't have a rising curve of tension or anything. It's just a whole lot of stupid after more and nothing makes sense.
So basically Michael Bay made explosions boring. This movie made car chases boring.
It does.
The Emoji movie made animated movies suck.
What a lovely night. So that's my movie.
And at least we did put in the effort to actually see these in order to fully say, yeah, these movies are fucking terrible and they suck. Don't see them, don't buy them. And by God, okay, if you're a parent, I was expecting to be in my theater alone and just have an episode of Mystery Science Theater 3000. I was able to have that with a few of the trailers beforehand, and I was able to do it like through parts of the movie.
There was something weird in my theater where I thought for sure I was alone, but then there was some black guy up in the corner, not even in the seats, on the staircase on his cell phone. So I'm guessing he snuck into the theater. That might sound like stereotyping and judging, but again, why aren't you sitting in the seats? Is the stairway that much more comfortable? And several times, because I thought for sure I was alone. It's like, am I the only one in here? Sweet. But then
that's exactly what I said once I walked into my, hell yeah, I got the theater to myself.
I said that several times, but then I heard something or other. I turned the corner. It's like, holy shit, there's someone else in here.
You're just be happy that he wasn't wearing a trench coat and a hat.
And it's like I've been talking to myself for quite a while. Shit. Now and then after the movie, it's like, well, I guess I'm no better than Halle Berry for how much she talks to herself in this fucking movie.
Yeah, I really hoped I was going to be alone in my theater. No, I'd never do that, but. Two sets of families, like, walked in during the trailers. They wouldn't shut the fuck up during this movie, but I had nothing against it. Talk all you want, because I was going to talk during the movie most of the time anyway. And parents, find something with actual effort put into it, and don't fucking take your kids to this pandering shit.
Well, I kind of wish animation studios would have a higher priority of these fucking movies.
And guess what animated movies are coming up in like the most recent months? The only good one is the Lego Ninjago movie,
which might be. I mean, I wasn't the biggest fan of the
Lego Batman.
The Lego Batman movie. It wasn't bad, but it also wasn't great either.
At least this isn't something like that's world renowned.
Okay.
Oh yeah, guess what the other animated movies are going to be? My Little Pony.
If we go see that, that'll be the first piece of pony content I've made in over 5 years.
Damn. Oh, another one is by Blue Sky, the people who made the Ice Age movies. Is there a book named Ferdinand about a bull?
I don't know.
Well, oh yeah, John Cena voices a pacifist bull that's trying to take other bulls back home where they could be free and not have to be forced to do shit. And I'm trying to think of what other ones there were.
Did you see a trailer for Leap?
I did not, actually.
Okay.
Oh, but you heard of Daddy's Home?
Oh, I got that trailer.
Me too. That shot from like a 1 to a 4 only because crazy Mel Gibson is in it. I just want to see him rip Will Ferrell a new asshole.
I didn't think the first one was going to be any good. I didn't go see it. I don't think this one will be any good, so I'm not going to go see it.
It's going to be terrible. I just want to see if Mel Gibson goes off the fucking wagon and yells at people to just fucking smile and blow him.
I don't think the movie has the balls to do that.
Oh God, no.
For the most part, the trailers I got were fine. I mean, there was Flatliners, there was The Mountain Between Us, which has the guy from Dark Tower in it. Mm-hmm. That one doesn't look too bad. But then the one that stood out to me was Friend Request, which
again, it's Unfriended Part 2. Except it's Facebook based.
No, it's not. Basically, what happened? Okay, anyone who do you know who Phaelus is?
Yeah.
Okay, anyone who knows who Phaelus is from Channel Awesome, former Channel Awesome guy, he did a review of Friend Request, and
Unfriended.
No, Friend Request. He also did Friend Request because there was something about this movie was already released overseas, and so he got that version and reviewed it. This is just coming to theaters now, and the trailer for this movie really does try to make it so a Facebook haunting look so serious, and it is so stupid. Basically, this regular white chick gets friends with this gothic chick from school. I guess she is their one friend in the entire universe, because when she unfriends her, she kills herself and then uses her, and then her soul haunts her Facebook. And there's in the trailer, okay, one of the most ridiculous things in what Phaelus pointed out in his review was real-time friend count dropping because she was losing friends because the ghost goth girl
of the goth chick
was making her upload videos of her suicide. So she kept losing friends, which frankly, I don't know why Facebook wouldn't just delete your account after that, but I guess they're powerless against a haunting. And the trailer does the same thing. The trailer's like, it shows her friend, it plays super intense music as her friend count's going down and everything, because who gives a shit? And she's like, did you change your password and everything? It's like, yeah, I did, and I can't do anything. She's even back on my Facebook account. It's
oh my God, looking at a computer screen. This is terrifying.
This is so stupid. I can't believe, the people in my audience were like freaking out over this, and I was just laughing my ass off. A Facebook horror movie.
The only good thing about my screening, I got a short film before mine, and you know what it was? Hotel Transylvania.
Oh fuck!
You hated it. The short is it's only like a few minutes long. Dracula gets a puppy for his grandson. Oh, and here's the joke: the puppy is 100% fucking gigantic. And it's like playful, jumping around everywhere, and Dracula's stuck watching him.
You know what would have been funny? If it was a hellhound.
Well, I haven't seen the Hotel Transylvania movies. I want to, though.
Wait, you haven't seen it?
No.
Oh.
Well, I've seen like bits and pieces of the first one.
The first one's not very good.
Well, you don't like it because you didn't like the animation idea in it. Like everything fast-paced.
No, I didn't have a problem with that. I just have a problem with the fact that if you're gonna take all these iconic monsters, do something with them. Instead, they don't in any way represent what they're supposed to be. Like, Frankenstein has one gag about himself, and that's that he's afraid of fire. Well, what's even more,
that is attributable to the real Frankenstein.
I get that,
monster,
but that's irritating to me, because it's like, first of all, his name's not Frankenstein. He's just the monster.
He's Frankenstein's monster.
I thought they could have played into that, but they didn't. There's so many things like that where. God, I'm not gonna get into it right now.
Best part of the short, though, but Dracula does figure out how he can control the dog very easily by just giving it a shit ton of like steak or meat. But what's best is the dog is sitting behind Sandler while he's like working as the clerk or whatever, and then a herd of skeletons come in, and then the dog just goes nuts because dog bone.
I get it.
But the way that they actually show it is actually pretty damn funny because the skeletons.
I get it.
The skeletons are still alive while he's trying to like munch down on them.
I get it.
If you see it, you might actually. You won't like say, "Oh, this isn't amusing to me." You'll be like, "Eh."
That's more than I got out of this movie. I don't know what we're gonna be doing next.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll go with the flow.
I just hope Wind River comes out sooner than later.
Yes. We're gonna see his boy, Jeremy Renner. He's gonna win that Oscar soon. He's gonna win that Oscar soon.
Wait, he didn't get it from Hurt Locker?
Hell no.
Fuck.
Fucking Jeff Bridges beat him out for that.
Damn it. Jeremy, you're the best, man. I'm glad you're in better movies, though. You're not wasting your time as Hawkeye, who doesn't seem to give a shit about you.
Alrighty. See you around.
Bye.